Alright, let's do this.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Well, the odds haven't gone up by very much.
You crack open the ammonia ampoule.
Let's go.
And breathe in. The odor of death is still stronger. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
Do they always do that?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
I was wondering what all that was. Boots.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
These aren't just boots, are they? They're armor.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
What kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
What happened to the rest of it? This is a bit of a stupid question, but you know.
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. Maybe he'll know something.
Maybe he was just wearing these boots and not and there is no rest of the armor.
No, he must have worn something precious underneath his clothes. They've removed all his clothes to get to it. They did not just strip him for the putrid rags.
Then where are these clothes? Have you seen any around?
Someone could have cleaned the yard, but that's a question for the red hat thing.
I hear you, cop, talking shit about the Kuno. Come here and say it to Kuno's face.
Fuck you, Kuno.
You wanna fuck me, huh? You wanna fuck the Kuno?
What if they told him to strip before they hung him, to demean him?
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties and the like. This one still has his underpants.
What? Are you trying to ignore me now, fuckface?
Kuno, this boots shit is super boring and the guy's a total vitupaz.
The material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive.
The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the ceramic with his index finger.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much we talking?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank.
Wait, my yearly pay is 5,500 real?
Not too much, yes.
Pathetic. I need to hustle more and hate less.
I have no idea what that means.
Fair enough. How could this man afford such expensive hardware?
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company. But that's just hearsay.
Initial report.
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
These are pretty advanced for a security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Knock knock.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
Sounds fragile.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
What does this remind me of?
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like.
Run your finger over the lines.
The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination, E50, 100, 1000.
This is so cool. The way that, like, this is a really cool way to represent, like, somebody's internal monologue, right? Like, how what you think about doesn't come from just one area, it comes from lots of different places. This is such a cool way to represent that, rather than just having, like, a static inner monologue, like most games. Looks like there's a serial number on the right sabaton.
Good. Can you read it to me?
Yeah, but...
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
Pull the boot off.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure?
Better not even try.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic.
In hindsight, you know, that does seem like a great way to pull the head clean off the body trying to do that, because his feet must be swollen.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Inspect the belt.
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting? I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparently this is the reinforced kind for air transport. My brain tells me so.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it.
The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
My past has undergone total annihilation. Nothing remains. My mother, the love of my life, certainly not a briefing.
Okay, you should ask me for one the first moment we get.
They sure wanted him to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel wiring.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Did they climb up using the kid's ladder?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory. The cadaver hangs from the cargo
Tattoos.
belt. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. His corpse is marked by stars.
What will mine be marked by?
Alcohol and heartbreak.
Is this a map of the night sky?
A map of the stars. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great century Messinian, maybe. But this seems more particular. Customized somehow.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought dissipates, and you feel as though you were only half right.
I'm missing something here.
So am I.
A sudden ringing fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
What's that?
A Trigger Sunshine. Mini.
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices, primarily projectors. The camera before you looks familiar somehow.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
He produces two metal-capped ampules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting. Then,
A sound, a
What?
shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
the lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
What do we need this photo for? A stupid question, but it's the only option.
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Look him in the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
Tell me who you are, dead man.
I'm gone.
Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Where is that?
In the past. Way out in the west.
I can see you're gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
You are now, but who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
I have another question for you.
Go ahead, Cobbo.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you. Am I schizophrenic?
It's the power of your
Black frothy liquid starts bubbling on his lips.
imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking love questions.
Why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoony. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Give me a comical amount of questions.
Coming right up, copperoony Rooney. This is getting upbeat now.
Okay. This is quite the interaction we're having right now. Is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
I do strike myself as a Rooney.
No, you don't. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
Fair enough. Who killed you?
Love did me in, Brother Cobo. It was love all along.
Can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
What?
Looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes, standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
Maybe this will lead to something. Something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous? The clown lips on the corpse appear to smile. The face rotates before you, slowly.
Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air, on your hands. The cold spring air smoothing them over.
I hate you. You stink and you're boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
Oh, fuck. Don't you hate when you get got by the corpse you're talking to? Dude, oh, what a relatable situation.
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
A baby afflicted with harlequinism.
You sure wriggled out of that one? Coppellini.
I don't know that that's
Come
true.
back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
That's not really what that text box said, but okay. Squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Observe.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His face and hands are pink. Thighs, too.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
Relax your eyes.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
Well, the first one is definitely correct. Is that actually what this means, though? I must admit, I'm not too well versed in what a body does after it dies, you know? That's not really my area of expertise. He doesn't, like, really look like he was beaten up, though, does he? I think he was upright after death. His hands, feet, and neck are discolored.
Agreed. Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
Could it still be he was moved after death?
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
Something is coming out of him.
The pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he saying?
Talking about shit.
God damn right I'm a...
Malicious laughter erupts in the yard. Sounds like seagulls.
Big's head is a...
The lieutenant's face is made of stone.
He's beaten up. See the bruises?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
What the fuck? Coin slot? What the fuck does that mean?
It means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
I think he's dead.
I agree.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Okay, weird way to say that, but...
Totally dead.
The world no longer stores his personality in its composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago.
That sounds about right, yes.
He nods in agreement with this advanced piece of conceptualization, having mulled it over.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
We've been thorough. Do you have a plan for getting him down?
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
We could saw the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Yeah, it seems dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Maybe we could shoot him down.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
There, the buckle that holds the belt together.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain the Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
Say nothing. Let him choose.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's stess position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Say nothing.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
Fucking idiot! Mookaba asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
It's okay, ma'am.
Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano Cloud.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
Try again, maybe?
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
I mean, I suggested it.
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor?
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
I would really prefer if there was another way. These people might have an agenda.
But what else can we do?
Okay, they do have the tools and the men. And since it looks like they put him there,
They can get him down too?
okay, let's do it in the lousy, dangerous way.
But won't it be dangerous?
To ask the suspect for help with the victim's body? To be indebted to Everard Clare? Very much, yes. Which is why I would have preferred us to handle this ourselves. Clearly we can't.
Suck my dick, bitches!
What's wrong with being indebted to Everard Clare?
He's a dangerous and corrupt man, and we cannot predict what he will want from us in return.
Yeah, don't go being someone else's bitches. You're Kuno's bitches.
How do we get inside the harbor?
From the gates, by negotiating or fighting. I'm unenthusiastic about fighting. Or we can try to find some secret third path. It's unlikely though.
To the gates. Let's negotiate.
Let's get to it then. Now, we gotta talk to him so we can get the briefing.
Yes?
Tell me about the case.
What do you want to know?
Literally anything about it. I can't remember a single thing.
Ah, yes. The case brief you missed. Now I remember.
Brief, yes, that sounds good.
3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate.
Wait, so you're saying the body was here for 4 days before they even called us? Am I understanding this correctly?
During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Wait, does the briefing say who the victim was?
A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
Why didn't we know anything about the caller?
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Why hide themselves? This is fairly self-explanatory, but...
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
That's actually not the answer I expected, but, you know. Hold on, and the RCM is...
That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city.
The RCM, or the Revachol Citizen Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city of Revachol. The RCM operates within a legal twilight, yet its authority is rarely questioned. It's super useful to know this.
Let me just make this perfectly clear. Our job here is to find the killer.
That's right.
Okay. Would you say this is a mysterious case?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Why not?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
I was thinking something otherworldly might be involved. You know, something supernatural.
I can assure nothing like that will happen. Do you know why not?
Are you sure? I think something is already happening.
No, something isn't happening, because it's not part of reality.
The gesture resembles an orchestra conductor bringing the choir to a full stop. So desperately mundane. You need to funk this case up.
Bro, this case is not nearly glam enough. We need to add some spice into this.
There's something the lieutenant isn't seeing. The universe is too irrational, too morally complex. You should convince him.
Now, is this just me being schizophrenic again? If we're from different precincts, why are we on the same case?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
What do you mean?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
You know what I'm in on. Retrograde amnesia.
Better still than an imbecilic cop-off.
Cop-off?
It's just stupidity.
What kind of stupidity?
The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion.
Ah, so this is a struggle over who runs Martinez.
Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
That's a lot of cases, though. Like, you know, we have to assume at least a couple of them are not correctly solved, but, like, that's a big number.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
This seems like such a rude thing to say. What's special about Martinez?
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
I wonder what this says about me, that I was sent by my station. I must be an augury, an apocalyptic omen sent by my people. Can you guess my message?
No.
There will be a bloodletting of unimaginable proportions. Unimaginable.
Oh no, it's very imaginable. We fail to place responsibility for the hanging. The harbor company see the situation is out of control, so they bring in private military, maybe a gunship. The Union responds in strength. Automatic fire.
This does seem imaginable, you are correct.
Local law enforcement solving one little homicide decides nothing. Not solving it can have real and calculable effects. Things can always get worse. Matter of fact, augury, we should move.
So you volunteered to spoil it?
Yes. I'm an unrepentant spoil sport.
The lieutenant appears pleased with this. Okay, enough of the competition then. Tell me something else.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
Before we do this, let's actually spend that skill point, yeah. Let's see. We've been getting a lot of use out of conceptualization, it feels like. But I also kind of dig Shivers. Now that I have more of a vibe for what Shivers does, which is basically seems to be intuition. You know? Or like the vibe. I'm pretty into that, actually. It's a little upsetting that it's under physique. But I am digging it. Okay, except changes in clothes. We also got that picture. Is that what's this? Yes, we got that.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso.
Okay, we
it
saw
still
that.
kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky.
I don't think we need to do that again right now. Alright,
Yes?
now. Why did the 41st send me?
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to slight Precinct 57.
What? No, that can't be right.
Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late wearing piss-stained disco garb. You weren't sent here to win.
Kim, what if my precinct sent me on this case because I'm a fuck-up? Like, as a joke.
I've considered it.
So it's true.
It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional. But I also think it's somewhat unlikely.
Why's that?
I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win.
Ha, so you are their finest.
I am the finest of nothing.
Do you really see me as a safe bet?
Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
Convince Kim there's a sexy, dark mystery twist in this case.
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul.
That is the most hurtful thing I've ever heard in my life. That really just cut to the very core of my essence right there. Like, chilled me to the bone.
One you should be ashamed of. It's no wonder the soft one doesn't want it back. It was right to abandon you.
What the fuck did that mean? What's the soft one? I think you should know that I can't remember anything.
No response. He just arches his brow. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
I feel like I must repeat this. I don't remember anything. There was heavy drinking involved.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
But I'm completely lacking in basic information about even this organization we're in. Can you help me?
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation.
Fine.
Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
Okay, forget it.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
I want to talk about you.
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
We'll work better together if we have more rapport.
That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
You're wearing glasses.
That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
No, I don't. Glasses are cool, I guess.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome.
You could use a good, normal pair yourself.
You don't look quite like other people around here.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic.
What is Seoul?
It's a part of the world, officer. A
Oh, thanks.
geopolitical entity, and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
You're only making it sound uninteresting. I still want to know more about Seoul.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholière.
Tell me a secret about yourself.
No.
That's fair enough. Oh, okay.
The lieutenant nods.
Do you ever talk with yourself?
What do you mean?
You know, when you're thinking, do you ever have, like, conversations with your brain?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary. The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extrinsic.
What did I just get? Well, it wasn't that. Nothing new appeared. I thought it said I got, like, a thought. Am I crazy? Can I do this? I guess not.
But this isn't an old school case.
So how do you... You know.
What? Think? I do most of my work inside my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. We all have our different mediums. His is written.
That's all for now.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Nothing. Let's leave. Okay, what's this?
Inexplicable feminist agenda. There is something you need to see, sir. We found the remnants of an ancient artifact lodged in your hypothalamus. It is a cylindrical object, piss-weathered and smelling of liquor. The paint is peeling off, but you can clearly make out the letters Revolutionary Feminist Agenda on the hull. It appears that some time ago, before you became a joke,
Oh,
you were an actual feminist. Somehow, you've come to that conclusion. Perhaps you can work your way back.
and this was... Empathy went up, but electrochemistry went down. Okay. So, now, we need to get into the dumpster. This is the logo of the municipality
This
of
trash
Russia Control.
container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags.
Open.
With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
Didn't I just have a premonition that there's something in there?
There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is still on the lid.
Open the lid.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Look under the boxes.
You see milk, an egg rest with one broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this.
Used to what? Dumpster diving?
No, searching for evidence in the trash.
Dive further.
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Turbo. Ooh, pick at the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Grab.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay.
But he's still got his boots on. So did they put the boots back on him?
Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Reach for it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Bag.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
Oh, okay.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that...
A thrown out towel, a mug, that's all.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
You think someone from the whirling might have been involved, maybe?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash, the lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Well, but somebody needs to have been able to unlock it to put the trash in there in the first place, though. Right? Like, they need to have had access to it to put them in there, because this was locked. Yeah, we need to ask the kids who put them here.
Fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
You're right.
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash
The
container.
mug. I'm getting the mug again.
You pick out a broken
Mug
mug
two.
with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron,
An antique.
only in its social sensibility.
Take the mug. Search the food waste.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels mostly. Unidentified sludge and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here.
Inland Empire, what are you trying to hide from me?
What's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny, Looks like the corner of something.
Pick it out.
Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this is.
It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
It has a foreboding quality to it. Maybe I needed to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know either. You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some have fallen into the hands of the RCM's adversaries, bloodletting may well ensue.
I'm amazed that bloodletting keeps coming up now. Okay, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to
Close
The
the lid.
container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Tremble. The time is now. Ta'ola.
What time?
Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream.
I was starting to think we might actually just be schizophrenic. Ta'ola. What's that?
Ulogu Theodos. Xeno Zausin. Ipoli Osidien. Echondes Fronisin.
I'm sorry, stupid question. Wait, when did this that countdown begin?
Monday morning. The moment you arrived in this reality are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread.
This is because of the insane world ending I've been saying, isn't it?
Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself.
Am I sure it's not just a joke? Or some kind of coping mechanism?
It's totally also a coping mechanism.
At least he's honest. I'm a little afraid.
So you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet, and in the far plain, Palindropos. Perhaps, just a thought, this has something to do with the hangover.
I do think the world might end soon.
The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become vapor.
Well. You woke up in a hotel room and started rambling about the end of the world. It's not your normal, everyday doom crying, either. Something truly colossal is approaching. The gloaming, the culling, the bloodletting of unimaginable proportions. Until now, you've been pleasantly vague about the precise nature of this cataclysm. No more. Put the bloodletting on the burner and really figure out what's threatening the fragile physical reality you found yourself in. All it does is -1 rhetoric. Well, you can forget these, though, right? Yeah, so, I gotta say, this sounds like it could be a good time. Alright, this other skill point. What are we feeling now? Oh, the level is like the max you can put in it, huh? I only just realized that the number of diamonds matches up to the level. No, because these are higher. These are higher than 4. But I did pick that as my main one, though, so maybe that's just some sort of bonus. Can you up it with this, little arrow here? No? Okay. Alright, what are we feeling now, then? Maybe just do shivers again. Perception, maybe? Perception seems pretty useful, just broadly speaking, you know? I'm gonna do conceptualization. That seems to get a lot of mileage. Now, let's look at this ledger.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Thank you, waterlogged ledger, for spelling it out for us. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
Inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Hey, it's kitchen tissue. They look exactly the same.
If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue.
Well,
It's not, though. It's toilet paper.
fuck. God damn it, perception. Take it off.
Still wet, the toilet paper, I mean kitchen tissue, sorry, peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your finger, and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better.
Oh, I mean, kitchen tissue. Sorry. Inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Run your finger across the aluminium.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there?
Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned?
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
Interesting. What kind of
It
information?
depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved. How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Before you mentioned the headlights of your vehicle.
Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
That's all, thank you.
Okay,
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
There was a mention of a naming convention here.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More.
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the Ukar parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a non-numeric one, with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Damn, real? Oh shit, we're all nerds? Nice. Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have a case named the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
We all cope in different ways, brother.
I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Commit to paper.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But
Kim, do you have a pen?
the lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Can I have one?
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
Thank you. With this beauty, commit to paper.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Furies are at home in the mirror.
Furies. Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that it refers to. And also, could you make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name.
Yes, yes, you know what that normal name is, but it's so plain. Anything else, please.
The Hanged Man.
Great, that's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
I'm done expecting these.
You don't exactly close them. so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers.
Can
They're a little further from your nose now.
Can I read the case files now?
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the next world mural.
Wait, HDB41, weren't those Officer Precinct?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDB?
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Those aren't my initials. I'm not feeling them.
Feeling isn't really the jurisdiction we're in right now. Probably for the best, because HDB feels like bad news from yesteryear. Like shit, Honcho.
How long does it take to read a case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
It's already 1 p.m. Let's not do that right now.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Browse the yellow papers.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of form are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Misconduct file.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
Station call.
These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing.
Field autopsy.
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs.
Close form.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Look at the clipboard.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back, you see the embossed letters, RCM.
What did you say the color was?
Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it.
Shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it.
Peek inside. That's... Cats! Oh, Jesus Christ.
The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
How would I open it?
With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board.
Open the hidden compartment.
The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee, slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just,
Slide the drawer open.
without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
One of these seems a little intense. Ticket stubs.
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there, too.
Pick up the card.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Smell it.
It smells of chewing gum. Apricot flavored. A touch of cinnamon. The end of summer. You think the label says tutti frutti.
Open it.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile. You think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please.
But it will make me happy.
A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it.
Read the card.
Your hands shake, holding onto it. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear.
Ah, fuck.
Sparks fall like snow from the bow collector. A streetcar distancing. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No. Hold on.
Hold on.
To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything all right?
Fall. Oh, fuck. Hell yeah.
There is nothing. Again.
Nothing.
Nothing sad, brother. No treachery, just blackout.
Just lie there, passed out.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia.
Who's that?
That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
And who was that?
Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
Was that the X something? The...
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
No, it was beautiful.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape. Its lack of beauty was not the problem.
Where is Voyager Road?
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
There was something about a bow collector, too.
Yeah, man. What was that about?
Enough. Just lie there, motionless.
You think they would let you? until you disintegrate into biomolecules. No, someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
What is that? It's cold.
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you. And
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Where am I?
In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket. The air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
Drink.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
Drank.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened?
I should ask you the same.
You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to.
How long was I out?
10 minutes, maybe.
I came in contact with the burnt-out ruins of the past, Lieutenant.
That does sometimes happen. You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Let's solve this case.
Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be
Ooh.
used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonus.
Ooh. -2 authority? That's okay, man. Equip. Ledger of Hatred and Failure. Hell yeah, bro. Oh, we can interact with this?
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
There's quite a lot to read into here, actually. Let's look at all that
Oh
content.
boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
The mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do.
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work? Just finish your case, detective.
Fair enough. Let's look at those other thoughts we got. Bow collector. Sparks fall like snow from the bow collector of streetcar number 42, slowly down the slope from Voyager Road and then east on the B206, across the river to where there are no closed factories or ruins. To study at the academy, electrical cables run overhead and the bow collector draws across them like a musical instrument. A flash. She's standing at the rear window, holding onto the rail, in a spring coat, waving at you. Hell on earth. Wonderful. You see yourself from above. You're passed out in the blue tiles of the hostel room floor. Even from this distance you can see your eyelids flutter, at the mention of what? A great white object, letting out a sweet smell, like a lily of the valley. The little man's forgotten its name, but it still remembers the feeling. And look, he moves. The feeling animates him. He instinctively reaches out for the feeling's best friend, a bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on his disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. Little guy gets further and further away. Cool. Awesome. Anyway, so, let's go talk to the dock workers, which I believe was north? Seeing as we need assistance. Closed for winter. Please use main entrance. Hello, sir.
Welcome to Rivachol.
What a face. Renez, the remark isn't addressed to you, it's addressed to the lieutenant. Why are you addressing my partner like that?
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago.
Ah, we're doing racism, I see.
Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
You tell him.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Limbo, what's going on here?
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCN. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Fucking A, Kim, I've got your back.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
Thanks.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Now that that's settled, we have a couple of questions.
Whatever you say, officers.
I found this mug in the trash. Yours?
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
Is it yours?
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
What was that argument all about?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races.
Right. Really cool topic.
Not the most popular topic nowadays.
Yeah.
The coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
Oh, God. Oh, so you're just a racist. Makes sense.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books. Huh? The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it.
Man.
People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
Yes, I can really tell you're a prime example of superior design.
Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? Huh? When members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority, they stop competing for resources.
Okay. And?
This concerns you, policeman, so you better be vigilant. The damned kips are showing up good lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other intruder species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory.
Mm-hmm.
Cultural victory? What is this then?
Wait, what's this cultural victory?
It's what the kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or leader? No. Dominating culture is how they plan to win. They say so themselves.
Uh-huh.
It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring.
Yeah, I'm not down with this. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Don't push your luck, runt.
Good talk, dude. That was great. Oh, trash. Ooh. Trash drugs. Ooh, a store.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
What is this machine?
Oh, that's the tear machine.
Yes, but what is it?
It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it in the machine, then it gives you money.
What the fuck are you wearing, by the way? I see. And how do I pick up tear for the tear machine?
You need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but we gave them all out, so feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.